Welcome back to another video. My name is No One's Coming, because no one is coming to save you. Today we'll be reacting to why we should fall in love slowly. On my channel, we just go with the flow. Right now, I'm in this kick of finding out people's understanding of love, relationships, and things like that. I'm just coming off of a breakup myself, so I think it's important to educate yourself and see how you can get better for your next possible relationship. In the future, I'm going to be also reacting to other videos, funny videos, whatever that comes across my thing. Today, I'm just in this mood. So let's see what Lucy Vo is talking about. Thank you, Lucy Vo. All right, let's get into it.
Hello, my dears. So I had the interesting topic brought up to me about the difference between slow love versus fast love. Let's look up the definition of slow love. According to AI Overview, slow love is a romantic orientation that involves taking a gradual approach to relationships rather than rushing into commitment. AI Overview's definition of fast love is a term that describes a culture of superficial expressions of affection and fleeting emotional connections. It can also refer to the idea of falling in love quickly, which is sometimes called emophilia.
Emophilia.
I didn't know that.
Me either.
No.
I did not know that. She said known as emotional promiscuity. Fast love and slow love. I have been in love several times, and I can tell you that fast love has its advantages, and so does slow love. I feel as though fast love is that intense desire, passion, that connection that you have. It's almost like you see somebody who makes sense to you and sees you for you in who you are in that moment, and it's enticing, it's intoxicating, and so I think that that's what that feeling is. Slow love, it seems like, from my understanding, my perspective, let's see what she has to say about it as we go along the video, but slow love is something that happens over a span of time where you grow with this person. It's the slow burn. We've heard about that, the slow burn. So this is something like that. Which one do you guys tend to fall into? I would love to hear in the comments to see which one you guys fall into often. Let's get it.
Known as emotional promiscuity. This is a term for people who tend to fall in love quickly and often. People with emophilia may feel an all-encompassing passion for romantic interest in a short amount of time. I'm gonna start off with saying that there's nothing wrong with wanting to experience a fast love. There's nothing wrong with wanting to be understood, but there are the side effects of being understood too quickly.
That's a bar. There's a side effect to anything that happens too fast, I feel like. But I feel like the people who have hemophilia or the emotional promiscuity, I feel like have those anxious attachment styles. You know, it could be. I'm not a psychologist, but an anxious attachment style is somebody who almost like needs for this person to this desire and this need for this person, and they're scared to lose them, so they do a lot to cultivate that relationship and make sure that they're bonded together and that they won't leave them. It could be, but it could just be passion, desire. But yes, she said that there is a caveat to having a fast love. Let's hear what it is.
It shows a level of curiosity that, wow, this person really wants to get to know me on such a deep level, and curiosity is important. There is a difference between cramming for the exam versus fully understanding the subject. I'm gonna use an example.
Bars.
There is a person that can get to know you within weeks. They ask all of the right questions. They start to really understand who you are, but who they are studying is the person that you are at that exact moment. Versus the person that has gotten to know you over a span of years, and this person has witnessed seeing you change. Instead of the first example of where they asked all the right questions and they found out who exactly you are, it's so much easier for them to kind of put you in this box of what they studied you to be versus the second example of where they witnessed the box keep growing. The first example.
So whenever I found this out, I found this out like recently, not found this out, but something I like kind of say when I'm dating somebody, and part of my understanding of a relationship is that however old you are, and when you meet that person, you're meeting this person day one with no prior knowledge to who they are, what they've experienced, who they've experienced it with, and you're meeting. Let's give this person an age. You're meeting this person at 28 years old. That means you have no idea what happened 28 years ago in their life, and now it is not your job, but it's one of your curiosities. It's interesting to you to find out what's happened in these 28 years prior to you being in their life. So you know me at today. You don't know me when I was 25. When I tend to tell exes or people that I've dated or talked to about my prior life, they're like, "Wow, I would never have guessed that you dealt with that or did that or overcame that or quit this or were doing this bad shit." Like, you would have never guessed because I've changed over time. And like the love, I guess this is a different type of love, but the love that I have for my friends, they have grown with me. Some of them, they have grown with me to see the change and the progression of my life. So that love is a little different than me meeting this person on day one and them asking those right questions and them meeting me who I am today. They have no idea of my passions that I've had yesterday, or seen me who I was in yesteryear. So I just think that that's kind of funny. That when you're meeting somebody, you're meeting them at 28 years or 29, whatever their age is. And it is your job to siphon and filter through who they really are based off of their experiences over the amount of time that they've been on this planet. All right, let's get to it.
That person may feel like, whoa, you're changing it up a little too much. What happened to the person that I used to know you to be? But the second example is able to understand you to such a fundamental level of throughout all of the changes that I have witnessed you go through.
She just, and this just to, not to stop it again, but this is like superficial versus foundational, right? This is someone who's known the foundation of who you are, the foundation of the building, as opposed to what the outer presence of what the house looks like. If we're going to talk in construction terminology, that fast relationship is that superficial one. Oh, I see you got a big house. Oh, I see the windows. I see the trim. Oh, I love that. That's my favorite thing. As opposed to somebody knowing the foundational, like, oh, you have a 4x4. I mean, these are just, it's maybe a bad terminology because I don't know construction terms, but the foundation is concrete. It was built 20 years ago. It was this, that, and the third. Like, these are things that aren't privy to the visual person upon first glance. These are things that you have to know, that take time to know, with inquiring with somebody. So I think that that's the basis of what I was trying to say. Foundational versus superficial understanding.
These are the points that have stayed the same, and I know this is you to your core. To be honest, rushing love is actually very simple. All you have to do is just lean into the crush of this person or lean into the few things that you do like about them and just exploit it and keep using that as a carrying vessel for the rest of the relationship. It's very easy to do. The common denominator between slow love and fast love is that there is the chemistry. I'm not going to take away from the fast love that there isn't a connection there. There definitely is. It's just what you do with the connection is extremely important. I'd say with maturing, you start to understand how to stop being as indulgent with love. The same way how you would with sugar.
Indulgent. Like she said, it's fairly easy to fall in love. It's fairly easy to allow yourself, especially if you've created this space for it, for someone to come into your life or for you to go into their life. It's very easy to do so if you have that space, or if that's just something that you want to do. But you learn over time that relationships aren't just about curiosity and connection. It's also about partnership and what's the word I want to use? It's about partnership, communication, and your compatibility as partners to see something through. So at least for me in the slow love dynamic, it allows you to see the compatibility of rational relationship building as opposed to just that connection that we have based off of us just really liking each other, really us being in tune, because y'all on the same frequency in that fast love situation. But I guess some things can get bypassed in that fast construction of that relationship that the slow burn would allow you to define and kind of see the blueprints of what's being built. But it is, again, she said, fast love is that sugar rush almost. You have to watch how much you're indulging.
We love sugar. It's delicious. It's a nice treat. Love is like a nice sweet treat. But we want to be able to learn how to pace ourselves, because when you take so much of it all at once for an extended amount of time, you're gonna feel sick. We want to avoid feeling sick from our loves. So with slow love, we are practicing patience. Continue on your life as you would, because you still want to put time and effort into the goals that you have outside of the relationship. I'd say that's what I notice a lot with the fast loves that I've experienced as well as observed. A fast love usually puts the rest of our life on hold. While the slow loves, they take such small chunks of time out of our days, and we can still eat the rest of what's on our plate.
It's almost like gluttonous, the fast love. We have to ask ourselves why we want to be loved so bad. And I think people in that slow love dynamic are people who have learned to love themselves and created those boundaries and have that self-respect and know what their limits are, and therefore they're okay with taking things slow, one day at a time, because there's no rush. There's no need to rush this. If this is what's meant to be for us, if this is what we're experiencing, there's no need to rush those things. And that gluttonous behavior and that fast love is just so demanding of your time and your energy, and it takes away from your goals, that people they call it a whirlwind. You get caught up in a whirlwind, and you're in it and you don't realize what just happened. Like, damn, you were going out from hanging out with the like, everyone's had these friends. I've had friends when I was younger, when they would get into a relationship, they were just gone. As soon as it was his girlfriend, they were gone. I didn't see him. I didn't hear from him. And that's okay. But I think as you get older, you realize that your other relationships are important. You have to prioritize them, not just the one with your partner. You should make time for that, but you also should make time for the things that are important to you, or that were important to you before this person. In every relationship that I've seen that was like that ended based off of insecurities, and it seemed as though they didn't trust each other to be left alone with other people. But yeah, man, that gluttonous behavior, be careful. Watch what you eat. Slow the pace. You don't need to eat that much. Just enjoy the bit that you have on your plate, and you'll have another plate tomorrow if they're still there. And if not, that'll be okay. That's the abundant mindset and the scarcity mindset. People eat so fast because they don't know if they're going to have another plate again. But the people who know they have food in the fridge take their time. It's different.
Like, they are the sweet treat at the end of the day, but we still fulfilled the main course, which were our responsibilities and our ambitions. And I'd say that's a well-balanced meal. We would love to have well-balanced meals as our well-balanced loves. But with the fast loves, it gave us no room left in our bodies to have that love for other things. That actually correlates to one of the main reasons as to why I'm scared to fall in love again. Love is consuming. It's not to say that I don't want to give this time and energy. The problem is that I do. From the first time that I fell in love, I didn't know any part of how to keep a well-balanced meal. I only knew how to keep indulging in what felt great. And a couple heartbreaks later, there's someone here. I was just young, and that was to keep leading into this love and forget everything else. But to live a little too presently. We love living presently, but when you're eating a cake, it's like, oh, this feels great, but you're not thinking about how it's gonna make you feel bad later. You're just completely indulging into the present and just wanting more of this until your satisfaction isn't actually satisfying, it's sickening.
Yeah, that's like eating a bucket of ice cream, and like the idea is that, oh, I need some ice cream, I can't wait, I'm gonna eat all of this, and then you eat so much of it that it starts to just taste horrible. It's like and you're so full, and the sugar in your body, you feel disgusted in yourself. It's all these things because you've done too much, and this is also akin to social media and the indulgence of dopamine and all that. You have so much that you almost become sickened to it, or you become numb to it, but or addicted. All these dependent things tend to happen or discussed. And I just think that, well, just to premise off what she said, being scared to fall in love again is a scary thing, but I think it's a beautiful thing. And you should be more fearful of not experiencing love than to fall in love. I think love is the reason why we're here. I think love is literally why your existence is here. So it's okay. If you're not ready, that's one thing. But to fear it is a dangerous thing. And I'll expound on that more.
With a slow love, sure, it's not going to be overwhelmingly magical, but I'd say it's the small bits of magic that continues to prove to me it is sustainable and it will be there through my thick and thin, because it already has. Versus the fast loves, it's like, who are you? And a lot of the answers to this problem, I wouldn't even call it a problem, it's just this rite of passage in life, is learning how to be more patient. We all have different styles of being patient too. It's truly just further understanding yourself and what your well-balanced meal looks like. At least definitely with the times that I've experienced fast love, I was running away from something. Whether I knew it or not, I was running away from something. One of my fast loves, I was running away from what my purpose was in life. I didn't know what I wanted to be when I grew up, and
I think she's great. I appreciate Lucy. You've been very open and transparent. Yeah, most of us are running away from ourselves by being in relationships or connecting with somebody. It allows you to focus on something other than yourself. It allows you to become consumed with something other than the reality of your current situation. Dating apps gives you validation by people who like you. Going on dates, having sex with different women allows you to validate your self-worth and value. But these are not actually building your self-worth or value. It is just a band-aid on a wounded person. And it is our job to heal ourselves through listening to ourselves, writing down what's going on with ourselves, and being attuned to our reality in our inner world that most people just try not to think about. That inner voice can be your best friend if you talk to it often enough. Most times people think it as their enemy because they don't talk to it enough to know it. I've used love in that way. We're about to end the video on this, actually. I use love as a band-aid before, or relationships and as a band-aid from my own reality. I've also experienced the slow love, and I will tell you this, and this is where I'll end it. The slow love is a great thing if you know how to understand it and appreciate it for what it is. If you have a history of fast loves and now you get into a slow love situation and you're used to the passion, desire, and all these things, and you don't have those things, you're going to confuse yourself and think that this is wrong. But it's not wrong. It's just something that you don't understand. You have to understand that before maybe you get into a situation that, hey, I'm okay with this going slow. And I don't need it to be this fast-paced whirlwind of a situation to get me off of my track from what I'm going through right now. I want this person to be in my life and help me process and go through and build something with, someone who's supportive and someone who's peaceful. Like, love should be peace. Love shouldn't be constricting or consuming. It should be fruitful and bring value. And that slow burn relationship or that slow love can and will allow that if you allow it to. And yeah, man. So, moral of the story is that no one is coming. No one is coming to save you, so you must save yourself. If you made it this far, please like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, no one's coming. Peace.